Hey gang, it's ribbon cutting day and we are right here in the downtown Westfield area and ready to meet the men and women that put together the Center for Advanced Wound Healing. We're excited that more healthcare is coming to Westfield and proud to bring you this message. At the Center for Advanced Wound Healing here in Westfield, they offer comprehensive and specialized care for a wide range of non-healing wounds. Maybe it's a chronic wound, diabetic ulcer, or even more complex cases. The team here is ready to help you regain your quality of life. They have cutting-edge treatments, advanced technology, and personalized care. You've got to come out and enjoy everyone here. All right, gang, we are here with Dr. Chowdhury. Pleasure to have you out today. Sir, what do you do around here? You've been influential in getting this here. Tell us a little bit about you, please.
So I'm a physician, family doctor by trade. I've been doing wound care since 2004, have been in Hamilton County since about 2006. I joined our group, Outpatient Integrated Strategies. We've been in existence since 2010, and we help manage about 10 wound centers across the state of Indiana in various hospitals. We help physician practices with billing and also with their management. And our latest project is putting a independent wound center here in Westfield. And right next door to this wound center and a medical office building is a ambulatory surgery center that we're also helping manage.
Wonderful. So inventive. How did you get into a role like this?
That's a good question. we found a need where hospitals needed help, and we were able to find like minds in my 5 partners who are also physicians.
Okay.
And we, between all of us, we knew a number of hospitals that needed help. And that's how we've grown from just managing 1 hospital in 2010 to managing about 10 hospitals now, and now opening this center.
Wow, that's amazing. This center is beautiful too.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure with those 10, you're probably improving every time. Is that right?
Right. So in the case of the 10, those are hospital-owned facilities.
Okay.
In this case, we rent the space, but we help design and build out this facility to our specifications.
All right, great. Obviously, with your specifications, you need the right equipment, right? So you're hands-on with all that too. What are we looking at with this equipment, and why is it so vital to what we're doing here?
Yeah, we have about a 3,000 square foot wound care center here with a number of exam rooms where we take care of wounds. And with wounds, you're using various dressings, various procedures, debridements to help those wounds close. What we worry about with wounds, non-healing wounds, is if everything was working the way it should, from nutrition, oxygen, blood flow, we would never meet these patients.
Okay.
So what this is behind us is a hyperbaric chamber, and it's what we call a hard chamber. You may have heard, or your friends or athletes might have a soft chamber. This is a hard chamber where we're using 100% oxygen, 200 liters to 400 liters a minute.
Wow.
Of 100% oxygen. If you see those soft chambers, in this chamber we can go to the equivalent of 50 feet, 66 feet below water. No water is involved. We do that all with air pressure, versus the soft chambers that some people have only go to 10 feet of depth, and they use limited oxygen from an oxygen concentrator,
Okay.
5 liters, versus, so this is kind of what we view as true hyperbaric oxygen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So what this means for our patients is we're able to hyperoxygenate their tissues, get a lot of oxygen in there.
Okay.
And if in doing that, we have areas where they have their wound where they have low oxygen, and we're able in their good tissues to create areas where you have high oxygen. So that creates a gradient, or almost a hill.
Right. I'm with you.
So at normal state, that patient might have an oxygen value of 20 in the tissues where they have a wound, and 80 in their good tissue. So in hyperbaric, and of course I'm pulling these numbers out of my head, they kind of do relate, that 80 and 20. Maybe in hyperbaric situations, we're able to make this value go to 80 and make this value go to 380.
Wow.
Now we have a difference of 300. White blood cells show up, growth factors are released, new blood vessels form, hopefully wound heals.
Wow.
Now we always can't heal the wound, but one thing that we know is in diabetics who have ulcers that have blood flow issues or have infection in the bone, their risk of major amputation, so below the knee or above the knee amputation, is 50% in 3 or 4 years, depending on which study you look at.
Okay.
In doing hyperbaric oxygen, unfortunately, we don't reduce that to 0%, but we cut that value in half, from about 50% to 25%. There's some other studies that show even lower rate, but what we know is we're able to halve or more than halve that major amputation rate. So what we tell people when I hear about people who've lost a toe or lost a foot, I almost have to kind of bite my tongue and say, did you have access to hyperbaric oxygen? Right. Unfortunately, it doesn't save every limb, so I don't want to give anybody false hope.
Sure.
But
you're reducing those percentages.
But we're reducing those percentages. And unfortunately, this is just the numbers. I'm not out to scare anybody or anything like that. The numbers tell us that if you lose one leg, your risk of losing the other leg in 5 years is 50%, risk of death in 5 years is 50%, and risk of major cardiac event in 5 years is 50%. So you look at all those statistics, if you unfortunately lose a leg, it's tough. Now, people do it. We have a number of military members who might lose a limb, but a healthy 22-year-old who loses a limb versus a 55-year-old diabetic who loses a limb is a totally different story.
Understood.
So that's why we have this equipment here. This stuff is produced down in Florida. It's a hyperbaric chamber. There's only a couple companies in the world that make this. And what's neat about this particular company is their acrylic is very clear. It's very, very clear acrylic, such that when you go in, if you're not really thinking about it, you really don't notice the acrylic. And when you're in here, you can watch TV. We do all kinds of things. I like to compare it to being in a car. It's car rides are pretty safe. This is pretty safe, but just like your car, you maintain it, you take precautions, you wear your seatbelt. We do the same things in hyperbaric. Nice. But you might say, well, in cars, really bad stuff can happen. Luckily, really bad stuff doesn't happen, but they tend to occur in wellness sites where they used them for non-FDA approved indications. We have a number of rules. Of course, 100% oxygen, no battery or fire or spark. Anything that creates any of that could ever go in here. So no cell phones or anything like that. While patients are in there, we have a TV or something that they can watch, but the chamber's grounded and the patient's grounded with a bracelet.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's amazing. So, Doctor, amazing establishment we have here, and we are so excited to have you in the community. State-of-the-art equipment. The staff, I've gotten to meet so many wonderful people here today. The staff is so friendly. I know they're going to take care of the guests that are coming in. What do you have to say for everyone else watching?
So, we want to thank Westfield for welcoming us here, and we're really excited to be in the community here with this fantastic facility and our qualified staff and our providers who are going to help people. Well, our mission and our goal is to help people avoid losing their limbs. Our tagline is about limb preservation, and so everybody might know somebody who's lost a toe or lost a leg. If you know somebody like that, or if that person's yourself, please give us a call, come by, and we're using all of our providers, our are using all of the advanced techniques, everything we're doing. You know, some people might think about hyperbaric and think it's a novel treatment or a wellness type treatment. This is all FDA approved, and we're using it for what our society says are FDA approved indications. So I would encourage people, if you have any of those diagnoses, to please come by and let us take a look, give you a second opinion, or be able to take care of you locally.
Love that. Now, if people are coming out, insurance all accepted, how's that? Just as long as the provider's in their piece, do you know that part?
So I think we will be in most insurance plans. What we will do for both your patient's comfort and to ensure that, you know, everything, there's no surprises, is we could make sure we have that prior authorization before and let people know what their component is. What I can say is most traditional insurances will cover what you see here for approved diagnoses, and will cover wound care. You know, the big things that we see in wound care that patients might hear is diabetic foot ulcers, venous stasis ulcers, pressure ulcers, non-healing surgical wounds. Probably those 4 diagnoses are probably 90% of the patients that we see here in the wound center.
Wow. All right. Well, doctor, pleasure.
Yeah.
Welcome to Westfield. Congratulations on being here and opening up a fine community. And we are excited to help more people become healthier.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Okay.
Another great establishment opening up here in Westfield, and more healthcare.
Okay.
As we continue to look and grow through the years, it's just going to continue to blossom. Stay tuned for more great videos like this, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on the whole community of Westfield.